Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chef AJ Live. I want to thank Chef AJ for giving us this opportunity. And I'm Dr. Nandita Shah. I'm your host for today. And you're with Saturdays with SHARAN. And we've had several episodes, and this episode is similar to all the past ones. That means we have taken up a topic, we have a few testimonials, and we have a short recipe at the end. Today's recipe is an Indian recipe for Sev Puri. Sev Puri is a fast food usually made with fried ingredients, but we are making it with totally raw ingredients to help you lose weight, but it's as delicious. So do stay till the end and watch the demo as well. Today's topic is losing weight to gain health. And losing weight itself is something very important that many of us want to do. We are often overweight, but did you know that by losing weight, you can also gain health? And that's something really exceptional, right? And I want to share my screen and tell you a little bit about SHARAN. SHARAN stands for Sanctuary for Health and Reconnection to Animals and Nature. And when you think about weight, animals in nature are rarely overweight, but we are, right? So how can we learn from them how to not be overweight and how to be in better health? Now, Raina is one of our facilitators. She's been with us for 10 years. And this is a photograph of her when she got married. When I saw it, she was already our facilitator. And I said to her, Raina, you look older when you got married than you look now. I'm going to ask Raina to share her story with us. Raina, over to you.
Thank you, doctor. So I joined SHARAN as a participant, okay, and this was about 10 years ago. I had severe acidity, and I did it for acidity, but honestly, I did want to lose weight. I mean, I was 65 kilos, and I tried so much, so much, so much, and the scale wouldn't budge. And finally, when it did budge, it just stopped and it became stagnant for so many years, I would say. And then I just accepted, okay, look, this is how I am. I'm already married. I already have kids now, and it's not going to help. You just start accepting yourself the way you are. And it was until I went to the SHARAN workshop for my acidity, and my acidity disappeared, and I got so excited. I said, okay, let me do this, okay, and let me try more. And I just started doing everything that you're going to be listening to what Dr. Nandita is telling us today. And and little did I know that in 8 months, I lost 37 pounds. I lost 17 kilos. And I was like, wow. And my husband also lost because he had no other choice. He had to eat whatever was being cooked at home. So he also lost about 17 kilos of weight. And in fact, we lost so much weight that my father actually called Dr. Nandita and it's like, oh my God, just look at her. She looks starved. But I was feeling energetic. I was feeling very good. I was so happy I could get a new wardrobe. And then doctor said, don't worry, it's the cleansing that has happened and she's going to put on, and I did put on after that, and I've been able to maintain that. So usually we have these yo-yo diets and you put on, you lose, you put on, you lose, but I've been more or less stable in these past 10 years. So whatever doctor is going to be telling you today, please listen with utmost attention, make your notes, because this truly works. Thank you, doctor. Over to you.
Okay, so I want to go back to my screen share and share with you what Reina looked like. This is after when she got married. And this is after she had been following SHARAN. Reina is very passionate and follows perfectly. And uh, this is what she looked like after that. And then when she put on weight again and came back to her own best weight, she and her husband, they both look like this today. And she and her 21-year-old daughter can share the same clothes. Isn't that just amazing? So losing weight to gain health. You might have heard of so many talks to gain health as well as to lose weight. And when we actually remember that many of us want to lose weight for better looks or to feel more confident. But truly, so many of our diseases are because of being overweight. Heart disease and strokes, or type 2 diabetes, or sleep apnea, or even osteoarthritis and back pains, certain cancers, digestive problems, fatty liver disease, premature aging, severe COVID-19 symptoms are also a result of being overweight. And that's why we know that weight or obesity was a COVID morbidity, right? So when we're overweight, we can have so many diseases. And when we come back to our best weight, the diseases just disappear. Dr. Suman Govil is one of our facilitators, and she first attended our 21-day retreat. That's when I got to know her. Her son sent her to the 21-day retreat as a retirement gift, both her and her husband. And this is how she looked on the first day of our 21-day retreat. And this is how she looks now. I would like her to share her journey and how she felt. And I just want to let you know that just in 21 days, she lost 8.8 pounds uh, by enjoying her meals over there. So over to you, Dr. Suman.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Nandita. It's a pleasure to be here. In fact, I am biotechnologist by profession, and I came to Dr. Nandita's 3 weeks retreat, knowing very little what is in store for us and how are we going to benefit. And all through my life, I struggled with weight loss. It haunted me. I tried different things. I tried, removing oil from my diet, removing sugar from my diet, and also trying gymming and walking and whatnot. And I would manage to lose a few kgs and then it would come back. So it came back normally with a vengeance. And the doctor was always telling me that, I am walking with extra 15 kgs weight and my joints were hurting. When we came to Dr. Nandita and we gave up dairy and we came back to whole food plant-based diet, my medications for hypertension and several other things which I was taking were dropped after a few days. And within 21 days, I lost about 8.8 pounds. And when we came back, we continued with this. So within a year or so, I lost 17 kgs, which is about 37 pounds. And this weight is lost forever. I'm not getting it back. So that's the best part of it. And my husband also lost about 14 kgs, which is about, 30 pounds. And all the medications, his medications also are gone. So we are leading a much more healthier life. I feel very energetic and feel much younger. In fact, I feel at least 15 years younger. I can go on and continue working for 8-10 hours at a stretch. I go for aerobics. My stamina and fitness has improved. So has my energy. And remember that losing weight after a certain age is more difficult. So losing weight after 60 years and 65 years for my husband was much more tougher, and sustaining it. So what Dr. Nandita teaches us is a sustainable way of gaining health and losing weight. And you don't miss out on food. Let me assure you, we have the best food, but without oil, without sugar. And they taught us all this. And the kind of lavish, delicious recipes which are served there in the retreat is mind-boggling. In fact, I just want to request all of you to try this method of lifestyle, and there will be no regrets. I'm sure you will be on a healthy journey, and you will be transforming your life, and you will be losing weight, and you will be losing all the medicines, you will be losing all the diseases. So there will be no looking back. I mean, I'm a living example. Reina just gave you, and you will have several other people who have also benefited. So please do try this method, and you will not regret. I can assure you. So please try this once. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Suman. That was really great. And I also want to invite Parini. Parini actually changed her lifestyle because her son had Down syndrome and he was getting sick again and again with infectious diseases and colds and running nose and things. And so she tried this lifestyle and he got better. And the result was that she lost weight. Parini, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, doctor. So, as doctor said, I started following this lifestyle for my son who is blessed with Down syndrome. And we tried everything for him. We tried allopathic, homeopathic, Ayurvedic medicine, but nothing was working for him. And we thought maybe he is very sick because of his genetic condition. But when I got to know about Sharan's whole food plant-based lifestyle, I decided to try it for my son, and we got miraculous results for him. His immunity got boosted up. He had alopecia, which also got reversed. And that same time, I was also struggling to lose weight. So I joined him just to give him company. And within few months, I noticed that I've also started losing weight, and I lost almost 13 kg, that is 28 pounds. In less than a year, I lost. I gained health. My hair got better, my skin got better. I had some skin issues which also got reversed. And I was so much inspired by Sharan's lifestyle. Then that time I started attending Sharan's cooking classes and free talks and everything. And then I decided to learn the Sharan lifestyle. So I got myself certified as Sharan's facilitator to help other special need parents and people who are looking forward to gain their health. So thank you so much, doctor, to give me this opportunity. And I'm immensely grateful to Sharan and you for coming in our life and guiding us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Parini, for sharing. And I just want to show you Parini's photographs as well. One sec. So this is Dr. Suman before and after, and this is Parini before and after. Isn't that amazing? And all of them just did it and got the results. And now Dr. Suman is a great cook. I've stayed at her house once and had amazing meals there. And Parini herself does cooking classes. And as I said, Saturdays with Sharan, all the testimonials are from our own facilitator. Now, many of us try to lose weight by dieting, and often it doesn't work. Does this sound familiar? Maybe it does, right? Like I keep trying to lose weight, but it keeps finding me. And that's because when we're dieting, we are thinking about food. But it's rare to see animals in nature that are obese, isn't it? And that's because animals eat the foods that they were designed to eat by nature or God. I went to Africa and I saw so much grass and so many zebras, but no overweight zebras. And so many zebras, but also no overweight lions. There was enough food for everyone, nobody was overweight. But it happens to us, right? Why? Because we've been told that we are omnivores, that we can eat anything, and then we do. So we have to think, what are the foods that are natural for us? Like if we were on a farm or an orchard and you see fruits and vegetables, instinctively you feel like picking and eating them. Isn't that true? But if you see a chicken walk by or a goat or a cow or a pig, our mouth doesn't water because these are not our foods. We've been taught to eat them and now we're eating them. Similarly, if you see wheat and rice growing in the fields, our mouth doesn't water because we can't pick them and eat them raw. So Sharan has a 5-point plan, which you may have seen in previous episodes. And it's that we are plant-based. That means we should eat only plants, but that too, we should concentrate on the plants that we could potentially eat raw. More fruits, more vegetables. And then whole foods. And that means that no refining. We are the only species that makes our food less nutritious before eating by refining. So we shouldn't do that. And then organic. We're the only species that sprays our food with poison so that other animals don't eat it and then we eat it. How does that make sense? And vitamin B12 and vitamin D should be checked and, if necessary, supplemented. Now, in the US, many foods are fortified with vitamin B12 and vitamin D, and this may not be an issue if you're consuming packaged fortified foods. But when you go on a healthy lifestyle and eat more raw foods and less packaged foods, the chances are that these may become deficiencies. And we've done a whole episode on vitamin B12 and D and why these are deficiencies in a modern world today. But these must be checked and supplemented if necessary. Now, we've done so many sessions and we've always talked about different conditions and talked about how, if we want to solve a problem, say if we want to solve the problem of weight gain or obesity, we must remove the causes of that problem. And so now we're going to talk about what are the causes of weight gain. And obviously, one of the biggest causes of being fat is fat. Where does the fat come from? Oil and butter and margarine and ghee. In India, we eat a lot of ghee. And also, all animal products are full of fat. Boiled fish, you get fat on top. Boiled chicken, you get fat on top. Boiled meat, you get fat on top, right? All of this is full of fat. Boil milk and you get fat on top. Now think about it. If we boil avocado, and you can actually do this experiment, boil some avocado, boil some peanuts, boil some sesame, boil any like sunflower seeds or nuts, and you will not get fat on top. And that's because in plants, fat is held in with fiber. When we consume whole foods, we consume the fat and the fiber, so the fat doesn't flow straight into our bloodstream. And this is very important. And the fiber also prevents us from overeating. For example, when you eat animal products or butter or oil, you can overeat. But if you eat foods full of fiber, like carrots or salads, it's unlikely that you will overeat. Now, animal products also contain a lot of growth hormones. Milk is a big one because milk is the food for a baby calf to grow to full size in 18 months. And so when we consume milk, we're consuming the growth hormones in milk, which will make us grow, but also grow. And cutting out dairy, all forms of dairy, which means milk and cheese and butter and cream and cottage cheese or whatever, yogurts and ice creams, everything, growth hormones from outside come down and automatically you lose weight. Now, these days, many animals are also given growth hormones. For example, chickens are raised to grow to full size in just 42 days instead of 84. They are given growth hormones. And fish are also raised in factory farms nowadays, and same with other animals. And therefore, hormones can enter us even through their products. Now, I talked about how fiber holds on to fat and doesn't let it go straight into the bloodstream. And what are the foods that lack fiber? The refined foods: sugar and oil and white rice and white flour And even juices, because when we make a juice, we take out the fiber and throw it away and just drink the juice. In fact, oil is also a kind of nut or seed juice, isn't it? And then peeled fruits and vegetables where we're losing vital fiber and nutrients because the maximum nutrient is just under the skin. And honey, think about it. When you see a beehive, does your mouth water? No, you'll probably want to run away from it. And that's because honey is not the food that was meant for us. Honey has no fiber as well. And of course, animal products don't have fiber. Now, let's learn from the animals. If we eat the foods that nature expected us to eat, it's unlikely that we'll put on weight. And so you can actually lose weight and stay at your own best weight by eating fruits and vegetables and avoiding processed foods. That means don't eat anything that is you find in a package if you can avoid it, because most packaged foods contain 5 addictive substances. What are they? Sugar and salt and fat and milk powder and MSG. All of these together cause these problems, right? And but they make the food so addictive that you can't put it down. And so have you noticed that you open a bag of chips and you can't put it down, and you might even open a second bag? We're likely to overeat when we're eating all these addictive substances together. So don't forget to look at the ingredients of any package that you may buy and check whether you really want to consume these or not. Now, all the foods that are addictive are also acidic, and that's harmful for our body. You remember Raina got rid of her acidity just by changing her diet. Our body is alkaline, and when we put foods that are acidic in our body, it's harmful in many ways. So, what are the acidic foods? All animal products are acidic because they're high in protein and low in fiber. And protein, as you know, breaks down into amino acids. Other substances that are also acidic are sugar, coffee, tea, wine, alcohol, vinegar, salt, colas, even drugs. And all acidic things are addictive as well. And so we should minimize these things, because if you consume foods that are addictive, naturally, you're likely to consume more. Isn't it true? Now think about it. If you're told suddenly not to consume any animal products, you may feel that it's a deprivation. How can I possibly live without cheese or chicken? But if I tell you no more carrots, you might say, hey, that's something I could easily do. Similarly, sugar or fried foods are highly addictive, right? But imagine carrots or peas or vegetables, they're not so addictive. And most of us, if I were to say no more carrots, you say, I could do that. I'll just switch to something else. So we should always think twice before eating low quality foods. I have to admit that it's not that I have never eaten low quality foods. Even today, I might eat them, but it's very rare. And that's because I don't feel like eating them so much. If I see low quality foods, I might I might feel like eating them. And if I eat them slowly, savor every bite. And after eating it, I remember what my body feels like when I eat them. And then I don't eat them anymore. Because the next time it comes in front of me, I remember that feeling that my body felt. Now, it might be that again I feel like eating them because they are addictive. I might eat it again, but again I remember them, and slowly they've dropped out of my life. And you can try this too. It doesn't mean that you can never eat them again. Once you're eating healthy most of the time, once in a while, if you eat something, nothing will happen. But we want to reach that level where we don't feel like eating these things all the time. Now, we want to eat for quality, high quality foods. Have you seen those French restaurants where they serve very little food on the plate? And the reason they serve so little is because the food is such high quality that it actually fills you up. The lower the quality, the more you need to eat. So it's best to make sure that you eat organic. And truly, when you eat organic, you'll be eating less. Eat local and seasonal. Nature knows what's right for us in every season. Eat raw foods as much as possible because we were meant to eat raw, just like all the animals. And eat a rainbow every day if you can. Eat all the colors of the rainbow with different foods in your different meals. Now, when we eat raw, we are getting higher nutrients, but it has various other properties. Raw is harder to eat, it takes longer, so it slows you down. Soft is like baby food, you can gulp it. Raw is never addictive, but even cooked foods, even if they're plant-based, can be addictive. Have you seen that an amazing plant-based lasagna can also make you overeat? It does happen, doesn't it? But you're unlikely to overeat a salad. Isn't that true? And raw is always higher in nutrients. Low cooking food is lower in nutrients because cooking food kills some of the nutrients. And raw is closest to nature, and cooking is man-made. We have to cook it in order to eat it, right? So we want to eat more raw because that has the highest nutrient value and we'll be eating less. Now, chemicals that are in our body are stored in fat. And so if you consume more chemicals, you're likely to hold on to the fat because the body needs to store the chemicals in the fat. And that's why it's very important to cut down the chemicals in our lives. Where are the chemicals coming from? They're coming from the non-organic produce, non-organic foods. Then the packaged and processed foods have chemicals. And medicines are also chemicals, which is why we want to get healthy and reduce medicines in order to lose weight. And then the personal care products. Perfume is full of chemicals and it's often introduced in all the personal care products. But also anything that we put on our skin is absorbed in a few seconds, less than 26 seconds. So the soaps and shampoos and perfumes and deodorants and hand sanitizers and cosmetics and hair dyes and shaving creams, all of this is chemicals that we're putting through our skin into our body, and we should avoid this. And then the home care products, the window cleaners and toilet cleaners and air fresheners and scented candles and the detergents and all these smelly substances, the chemicals are actually entering through our breath, and we want to avoid these as well. So we really need to minimize the chemicals in our lives. Now, many of us try to diet to lose weight. And of course, when we're dieting, we're only thinking about foods. And so we should avoid this because otherwise, like all the people who talked before, you know, you saw Rainas, she tried to lose weight, but it kept coming back on. So let's not try to diet. Let's not try to eat less. Let's try to eat better. And how are we going to do this? By removing the bad eating habits. What are they? The first, of course, we've already talked about eating foods that are wrong for human beings, eating the addictive foods. then eating mindlessly, then eating when we're not hungry, binge eating, and comfort eating, right? So mindless eating is when you're eating while doing something else, watching TV, reading a book, whatever, and just eating without thinking. We often eat when we're not hungry, right? Like we've been taught this from a very young age. Come on, it's breakfast time, sit at the table and eat your meal. It's lunchtime, eat your food. And so now we think that we have to eat whenever it's time to eat. But that's not true. We should eat only when we're hungry. And then we're less likely to overeat. Of course, binge eating should be avoided, and comfort eating is when we are stressed. It happens to me too, that when we're stressed, we tend to go to food for comfort, right? And that's because when we were young, our comfort came from our mother who supplied us with food. And of course, we should avoid eating in between meals. So I always say 5 meals a day maximum. Personally, I have only 3 meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But if you need to, breakfast, then a snack, then lunch, a snack, and dinner. But everything you put in your mouth that has calories counts as a meal. So even if you just put in a couple of peanuts in your mouth, consider it a meal and don't have more than 5 meals a day. That means don't eat in between meals at all. Now, as I said, we've been taught to eat in a less mindful way by our parents ever since we were young. Like a baby, before it can speak, when it's full, it just zips its mouth closed and nobody can open that mouth. But when the baby starts to understand, mother says, finish your food, come to the table, it's lunchtime. You can't go out till you finish your food. And mothers also say, or parents also say, hurry up and finish your meal. Because originally we ate slowly and we ate mindfully. And so now we have to unlearn what we have been taught and go back to what we were originally doing, which is eating mindfully. So we should eat only when hungry, eat only according to hunger. Now, it could be that we have certain meal times, like it's lunchtime at office, and that's the time you can eat. So we will learn to eat according to when we know the next meal is going to be there. So if you know that your lunchtime is at 12, you may have less breakfast so that you can be hungry for lunch. So we have to learn to moderate our food accordingly and eat slowly and chew well. Avoid addictive foods and avoid distractions like watching the TV when you eat, or watching a movie and eating while watching, or anything else. Just avoid distractions. Now, it's really good to slow down eating so that your stomach can send a message to your brain when you're full and you don't overeat. So many of us overeat, right? But once you learn these strategies, you won't overeat anymore. So number one is gratitude. Remember that the food that comes to our table that we can finish in less than 15 minutes or 20 minutes, sometimes even 5 minutes, takes a long time to come to our table. So let's have gratitude for nature that has produced these foods, for the farmer who has grown these foods, for the person who sold it to the market and the market that sold it to us, and the person who cooked the food. And once we've said all that gratitude and actually imagined how that food came to our table, then we can go to the next step, which is checking how hungry we really are. And if you're not too hungry, make sure that you fill your plate with less food so you're less likely to overeat. Because we have many um, things in our mind, like not to throw away food or not to waste food. And then sometimes we overeat just because it's on our plate. Then savor the food on your plate. So take only as much as you really need. And then savor the food on your plate first with your eyes. Look at the beauty of the food and smell it with your nose. And maybe touch it. In India, we eat with our hands, so we actually touch the food. But if not, touch it with your spoon or your fork. Feel the texture of the food and then finally taste it. Chew deliberately and slowly and take one bite at a time and stay with the food. That means chew your food, swallow it. Don't pick up the next spoonful of food until your mouth is actually cleaned. In fact, it can be useful to put down the spoon or the fork between bites so that you make sure that your mouth is clean before you put in the next bite of food in. And then eat in smaller plates or with smaller utensils. You can eat with a smaller spoon or even try chopsticks. I love to use chopsticks when I make Asian foods. And then pace yourself. Like if you've been finishing your meal in just 10 minutes all this time, you may want to add an extra 10 minutes so that you take at least 20 minutes to have a meal. So you may have an hourglass for 20 minutes and slow down so that you're actually chewing your food, and use some of the techniques I mentioned earlier to slow down as well. And then Hara Hachibu. Have you heard of Hara Hachibu? Hara Hachibu, you may have heard of blue zones. The blue zones are the places where people are actually happy and not unhealthy and live for over 100 years, many of them. And Okinawa is one of those places, and the Okinawans practice Hara Hachibu. What is Hara Hachibu? It means eating only till you're 80% full. Try it. You feel lighter, you have more energy. When you overeat, you actually don't have energy. You don't even feel like getting up. You feel like taking a rest. So try Hara Hachibu, eating only till you're 80% full. And romance your food. Set a table, light the candle, put on some slow music, appreciate the food, and make it a whole sensual experience. That's what happens when we go to an amazing restaurant where the tables are so beautifully decorated and you're eating with your eyes and nose and all your senses, and you actually eat less. That's something to think about. Now, we want to get healthy because there are some medical conditions that actually make you fat, like, for example, hypothyroidism and PCOD, and even diabetes, type 2 diabetes when you're on medication, and Cushing syndrome. And so, if we can make sure that we get rid of these hormonal problems, and we've done a whole episode on hormonal havoc that you can refer to so that we can get healthy to lose weight. And medicines are chemicals. And remember, I said medicines are stored in fat. There are medicines that also make you fat. Steroids, we all know that. When you consume steroids, you get fat. Antidepressants can also make you fat. And so we want to avoid these. And insulin too, right? So let's take charge of our health to help us lose weight. Now, exercise is a must. If you don't burn those calories, how are you going to lose weight? But do you like exercise? And some people truly enjoy exercise, but I never used to like exercise. And so, if you're one of those people, then we have to find ways in which we'll make sure that we get some exercise. Maybe parking your vehicle far away from the place you want to go to. Or like I make sure that I go out every evening after my dinner to feed the stray animals on the street. And I have to walk really far for that. So I automatically get my exercise done. So do something you love. Like I feel so good when those animals that are starving get fed. And I also try to make sure that they're spayed or neutered so that we don't contribute more to the problem. So do something you love as a means of getting exercise. Or for example, when I wake up in the morning, I do Surya Namaskar and it's become a habit with me. And so now I feel like if I don't do it, I'm missing that habit. So just as we brush our teeth as a habit or shower as a habit, get a bit of exercise in as a habit. Or you could do it with a buddy. Like if you're going for a walk every evening with a buddy, or if you're playing a game like tennis, and if you let your buddy down, you're letting someone down. So automatically you will keep doing it. So make it a habit like I did with my Surya Namaskar and make it something easy to do. Like don't plan to do something so difficult like walk 5 miles or something. Just make it something that you can do right away and then keep stepping up. Now, lack of sleep is a big one. Sometimes we think that if we're active all the time, we'll lose weight. But if we don't sleep enough, we're tending to eat more in order to get energy. And actually, lack of sleep can help you put on weight. Therefore, it's very important to sleep a lot at the right time. So it's best to go to sleep early, leave out all that social media or TV shows, go to sleep early, and make sure that you don't wake yourself up with an alarm. Now, it may be that you need an alarm, so you put the alarm, but if you've had enough sleep, you'll automatically wake up before the alarm goes off. That's the kind of situation you want to create. And maximum healing takes place between 10 and 4, 10 at night and 4 a.m. in the morning. So you want to make sure you're asleep at that time. If possible, go to bed at 9 and wake up whenever you wake up automatically. Now, many of us are eating to fill a hole, right? We're eating when we're stressed with comfort foods. I've done this too. And so look at all these comfort foods. Haven't you eaten them at some time? So here's what you can do. If you know you're going to be stressed, you can keep some healthier comfort foods available and work on the stress. That's important. You may take the help of counseling or self-help books to get out of the stress. So one of the things I often tell my patients, because all of us are stressed at some time, isn't it? One of the things I tell them is that before you go to bed, write down 5 things that went well during the day. Because we often tend to think of the things that went badly rather than the things that went well. So how can we think of the things that went well and then go to sleep so that we'll have a more calm sleep? When you wake up in the morning, think about, write down, literally write these things down. 5 things at night that that went well during the day, and 5 things in the morning that you're truly grateful for. And they could be simple things like just that you can turn on the tap and have water flow out, or that you have food always available on the table, and so on. Anything, but something that you're truly grateful for. And this will fill your day with gratitude, which is the highest emotion, and keep you thinking positive a lot more than before. Now, Captain Joseph Pinto was a flight captain, and he came to SHARAN and changed his life. This is him before, and this is him right now. I want to introduce you to Captain Pinto. So let me stop my share. And Captain, would you like to speak?
Definitely, I'll be much pleasure to share my journey. Thank you, Doctor. Actually, I used to struggle to reduce my weight during my flying days. Uh, every 6 months, I had to go for my medicals, and it's always very difficult to reduce weight. Tried all the tricks, never ever I could reduce. And it so happened that I end up watching a documentary called Earth Links, and all family changed. And I was hardcore non-vegetarian, eating whole meals in this breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything was full of animal products. And suddenly, overnight, we changed over to cruelty-free food, whole food, plant-based. Basically, we changed for the cruelty part. We don't want to be part of the cruelty, but the health benefits is all our side effects. And I never did any exercise because even though I was a sports person, over a period because of overweight, I become lethargic, not interested in walking, exercise, games, anything, because you don't have a stamina for that. So after changing over to this whole food plant-based diet, after 3 or 4 months, I had an incident where somebody tried to snatch a phone from my hand while traveling in an auto. But luckily, I could, the phone, it was with me, but I thought I have to catch this guy. Somehow I fell and I start running, chasing him behind. And he's a small boy and he ran very fast, and I was almost caught him, and he jumped into a drainage where I didn't want to, and he got his punishment anyway. But all the while when I'm running, I was thinking, I'm running, because, and that is almost around 1 kilometer, half a mile or so. And that too with full speed. Then I called my wife and I said, Rose, you know what happened today? I was sprinting with full energy. I think I got my energy back. That was a miracle happened to my life. And went back and checked my weight. I already lost almost 16 pounds at that time. And overall, 9 years, I mean, within 1.5 years, I lost almost 37 pounds. And now I am steady at 150 pounds. More than weight loss or any other side effects, like say I had acidity gone, then my skin is gone, so many other benefits. The best thing what I got is my energy back, my life back. I don't know whether you can relate to it. When you are overweight, when you cannot do your mind, you still think you can do so many things, but your body doesn't allow to do things. That's where you're dead. But when you get your energy in your hand, when your mind thinks you want to play football, you play football, you want to run, you want to challenge anybody, that's where you start living. So I highly, highly recommend everybody to try this whole food plant-based diet, whatever Dr. Nandita so beautifully shared, and you will not regret. That is my guarantee. Only you will benefit from hereafter. By the way, you don't have any other option other than changing your lifestyle. So enjoy it, go for it with full conviction, and results will be there. Thank you, doctor. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, Captain, because You are one of our motivators, and you motivated so many people into this lifestyle just because of your amazing benefits. Your whole family is following it and doing so well, and that's just amazing. And that was Earthlings, right? That amazing movie which changed your life. And so, if you haven't watched Earthlings yet, it might be something to watch. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my screen share, and just to show you again, this is Captain Pinto before and after. What a change, and what a change in energy as well. So now a summary of what to do. Eat whole plant-based food only. Make sure that it's of the highest quality and it's organic, if you can, to the best of your ability. Minimize in chemicals from everywhere. That means personal care products, home care products, and eventually even medicines and obviously foods. Eat mindfully, eat only when hungry, slow down and chew your food well. Cut down your medications as you get well. Exercise, rest at the right time, and work on stress and negative thinking. And as I said, automatically, and we've done a whole session on stress as well, automatically, when we stop consuming animal products, we stop consuming the adrenaline in them. When we are stressed, we produce adrenaline. When animals are stressed, they produce adrenaline. When we consume animal products, we are consuming their stress. Automatically, our stress levels go down when we change. And most important, delay your first meal. That means delay your breakfast till you're really hungry, because once we start eating, we start all these digestive juices working, and then you're hungry. So please delay your first meal and then eat only when hungry, and you will reach your own best weight. And of course, more important than that, your health. Now, how can we at SHARAN help you? Raina conducts a 6 weeks to health gain and weight loss live program where people meet in a group, and some of these programs occur on at a timing where even people from the US can join, like if it's early morning or in the evening. So you can check on those. But otherwise, she's also prepared a 6-week to health gain and weight loss online program. This is curated by her, and you can join this at any time. You can look for it under events on our website, and you can do it at your own pace at home. Then we have a 3 months personalized health gain weight loss program with our nutritionist, and this is on Zoom or on WhatsApp. It's a call that you will do regularly with your consultant, and they will help you in an individualized manner. And if you have diseases and medications, then you can take consultations with our doctors as well. So all of these can help you. And we do have a few publications. We have SHARAN Healthy Living book and Timeless Recipes in English on our website. These are available for free download, or you can even purchase them. And this is my book, Reversing Diabetes in 21 Days. Even though it's about diabetes, it's about overall health and can help you. Though it's specially targeted to an Indian audience, so it's especially good for Indians, even Indians living in the US.
Thank you, Doctor. And I'm sure you all must have been inspired by listening to so many stories, and these are actual real life stories. And we have all lost so much weight, and it's very easy to do it. Trust me, anytime anything we need to do requires a little bit of effort initially, then it becomes easy. Like for me, the first time when I started doing all these things, it was a little effort, but now it's just so easy, right? So today I'm going to share with you a very delicious Sev Puri recipe, but this is a raw recipe. And Sev Puri is like our fast food. Like you have your burgers and you have your French fries. We have a raw Sev Puri. And usually, why is it we've kind of made it into a healthier version? Otherwise, they have these deep fried um, plain flour puris, and you put this, potatoes and chutneys and all, and tastes yum. But this one tastes even super yum. In fact, you can make it. Even you can just have a meal out of it. If you want to have a light dinner, it's excellent. You can even use it as an appetizer. When anybody comes over, it makes a delicious appetizer. Plus, all the ingredients are super easily available. I'll tell you some variations also. And very easy to make and very quick. You'll see that. So what do we need for the raw sev puri? So instead of the deep fried puris, I'm using cucumbers. You can see I've sliced it. And as doctor said, we haven't removed the skin. Okay. So what could you use as a base? You could even use potato and slice it, steamed potato, or you can use sweet potato. I've tried the sweet potato and it comes yum. Okay. So if you don't want to make it raw, then you can even use that. And then we have some grated carrots, again with the skin on, the peel on. I have some raw grated beetroot. Okay. And then I also have some raw grated fresh coconut. Okay. The sky is the limit. You can put whatever toppings you like. Okay, now you're going to learn a chutney. This green chutney is very versatile, very yummy. You can actually put it on your bread and just have it as a sandwich, and it's delicious. It's usually used as a dip, and since it contains greens, it's very healthy, and it's usually a must have in nearly every Indian household. So what do we use for that? So I'm using 1 cup cilantro or coriander leaves. Okay. So I'm going to be putting these in my blender. Okay. So I'm putting my 1 cup of coriander leaves. Okay. And then along with that, I'm going to be using mint leaves. Okay. Mint has lovely flavor. I'm sure you all are aware of it. Okay. So mint leaves, equal amount of mint leaves and coriander leaves. And then I'm going to be putting an onion. Okay. If you're somebody like me who doesn't have onion, you can just skip this and it still tastes delicious. Okay. Um, this chutney, it lasts in your fridge for 2 to 3 days. So please make that much amount. Okay. And then I'm putting some garlic, I have about 4 to 5 garlic pieces. Okay. And then a green chili. Okay. All right. And I'm putting half a lemon juice. Okay. So all you have to do is put this, blend it, and your chutney is ready in minutes. Okay. This can also make a nice salad dressing. If you like crunchy stuff, like if you like spicy, maybe a spicy salad dressing, then you could even use it there. And of course, I'm going to be putting some salt. So you can put a little less first and see how you like it. Even your chili, you can do that. First put little less if you think chili is too much for you. So I'm putting about 1 teaspoon of salt and very little water because we just want to blend it into a chutney. Okay. So this chutneys you can have this chutney goes with most of our Indian kebabs and, all the vegetarian tikkis and everything that we have. Okay. Yes, smelling really nice. Okay, let me show it to you. Okay, this is how your chutney is looking. Okay, can you see? It's like a green paste. All right. Okay, so now what do we do? Okay, so what we have to do, I've taken it's so simple, right? Hardly, barely took me a few minutes. So the Sev Puri, first we're going to put the healthy base. So I have these cucumber rounds, which I'm going to put. And I told you could even make it with beetroot rounds. You can make it with sweet potato and potato, of course, would be steamed. So you can see I put this cucumbers rounds, okay? And then to give it color, we're going to be giving the carrot. So we'll put a little bit of carrot on all of this, okay? All right. Okay, all right. going to try to show you. I think you can see it now. Isn't it already looking pretty? Okay, and then I'm going to give it a pink. I told you the world is open. You can put whatever you like. You can put avocado if you have. You can put radish if you have. You can put spring onions. You can do whatever you like. That's the beauty of this recipe. Okay, all right. I can already see it on the screen and it's looking so good. Okay, and then I'm going to be putting some white, which is our coconut. You can even put crushed peanuts if you want. If you do not want the coconut, you can skip the coconut. Really, you can really do whatever you like, but this I can tell you it tastes yum. Okay, and then I'm just going to top it up with a little bit of chutney. Okay, and there our raw Sev Puri, not raw, but yummy and raw Sev Puri is all set to go. Okay. So you can have the raw version or you can have the cooked version and you can make your own version. In fact, please make your own versions and put it up on the chat box, on the comments so that other people get some ideas as well. So there you go. Oops. Okay, sorry about that, but there you go. But I can see that it's looking so pretty, right? So thank you. Do try this recipe and all the recipes that we've shown you at Saturdays with Sharan, because we've always kept in mind easy ingredients and quick cooking. Thank you very much. All the best and wishing you great health and weight loss as well. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Raina, for that. That was great. And I'm sure that they'll make it and try it because there's nothing not too difficult there. And as you said, this can be served as a meal or it can be served as an appetizer. Do try it, enjoy it. And bye for now from all of us. Hope you lose weight and gain health.